Hello student, good morning to all. I am here, right? Uh, you must know I am Gopal Desai, right? And today we are going to discuss poem number 3, The Voice of the Rain, right? It's a very nice poem by Walt Whitman, a naturalist, right? Like a Wordsworth. There is no deep meaning or there is no philosophical meaning or indirect meaning in this poem, right? This is all about beauty of rain. So let's discuss the poem line by line. So first line, and who art thou, say I to the soft falling shower. So poet asks to the soft falling shower, that means rain, right? So who are you? Who are you? Which, strange to tell, give me an answer as here translated. Then the in the second line, the rain start to answer. I am, so in the first line, right, poet asks question to the rain, and in the second line, right, rain started to answer poet. Now, how is the answer? See, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. So, voice of the rain said, right, I am the poem of the earth. That means, right, I am a movement of the earth, I am a liveness of the earth, I am a feeling of the earth, right? Eternal, I rise, impel, impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. So here in the in the third line, it says, right, I am poem of the earth, right, that and bottomless sea out of the land, right, that means I am from my existence, that means I starts from up to heaven, right, up to heaven, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same. So no doubt my form of the water is, right, little bit uh, uh, change, but on the earth my form is water. I descend to lave the drops, atomies, dust layers of the globe. So pleased, I am pleased to, right, I am pleased, lave means inactive. So I am inactive drops, atomies, dust layers of the globe. So I, rain says to the poet that I am inactive draughts, you know, right, you must know draughts, then atomies, right, that means small particles of the dust, uh, and dust layers, right, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn, right. So what I do, so in this line, rain explain, right, that and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. So the rain helps, that means I help, I is used for the rain. So rain says I help to generate or to germinate, right, seeds, right, and brought a greenery on the earth, and forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin. Then day and night, when I fall on the earth, and at the same time I prepared myself for the rebirth. So you must know the process of evaporation that he talked about, right? All the rain fall on the earth, right, and the uh, plenty of water reach to the sea via rivers, but that at the sea, right, the process of evaporation starts and the rain came back to the earth again. So in that reference, and forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin. Then, and make pure and beautify it. So he said, and make pure and beautify it. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with lovers, love returns. So, in this last part, the poet compares the rain to a song as both have a rhythm and the ability to spread joy, beauty, and to rejuvenate. Just as the song returns to its origin, the rain also returns to the water bodies of the earth from where it started its journey. So, this is all about this poem. Okay, now I am going to read it again. See, and give you some meanings. Means word vocabulary. So, in the second, remember, in the first reading, I introduce explanation. That means I explain the poem. Then, now in second reading, I am going to explain some meaning. That means hard words or vocabulary. Right? See, and who art thou? Thou. Thou means you. Then, said I to the soft falling shower. Shower, you must know, which strange to tell gave me an answer as here translated. I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal, I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Right? So bottomless means very deep. Upward. So see here, upward to heaven, whence vaguely. Vaguely means unclear. Vaguely means unclear. Form altogether change and yet the same. I descend to live. Right? I descend to live. Live means wet. The draughts. Right? So I descend. That means happy. Right? Descend means I am happy or I washish. See, I descend to live the draughts. Right? Live means to make it wet. Atomies, dusty layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds. Now, atomies, right? Atomies means particles, as I said you. So, atomies means small particles of the dust. So, dust layers of the globe. Now, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent. Right? So, latent means inactive. Latent means inactive. And forever by day and night. I give back life to my own origin. Now, and make pure and beautify it. And make pure and beautify it. For song issuing. Issuing means originating. Issuing means originating. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering. Racked or unracked, duly means properly, with love returns. So these are the words, right, that make you aware or help you to understand. Now, I am going to summarize this poem, right? That means in very brief, I am going to summarize this poem. See, in the poem The Voice of the Rain, the poet Walt Whitman tells us how the rain plays an everlasting role in nurturing, quenching, and purifying the different elements of the earth. The rain tells the poet that it is the poem of the earth. It also confirms vaguely that it rises from the water bodies on the land and from the deep blue sea. It rises upwards to heaven from cloud. The water changes the water changes form, but still remains the same. It then comes down as rain. The rain washes away the dryness and drought from the earth and make it clean and green. The rain helps germinating the seeds lying asleep in the soil. In its absence, the earth would be dry and parched. The poet compares the rain to a song, as both have a rhythm and the ability to spread joy, beauty, and to rejuvenate. Just as the song returns to its origin, the rain also returns to the water bodies of the earth from where it started its journey. So this is what the poem is. Now let's discuss figure of speech. Right? So here we do have a 3 to 4 figure of speech in this poem. Right? I am going to give you. So I am going to tell you the line and name of the figure of speech. You must underline in your textbook. See, first here we do have a apostrophe, and the line is, see, a direct address is made to the rain. Right? A direct address is made to the rain. This line indicates or shows the figure of speech, that is apostrophe. Now second line is, a question is asked not for the sake of and the answer, but for the poetic effect, that is interrogation. Right? The form of the figure of speech is interrogation. So in the anstrophe is also there, because there is an inversion in the sentence for poetic effect. So in this poem, right, so if you see, there is an inversion in the sentence of the poetic effect. So see, if you study the overall narrative of the poem, then you find these 3 figure of speech: apostrophe, interrogations, because interrogation between poet and rain, and anstrophe, right? So because inversion in the sentence for the poetic effect. So these are the 3 figure of speech. See, personification is there, alliteration is there, because here in this line, see, something is strange to tell. Right? See, in the second line, if you see, which strange to tell, give me an answer, as here translated. So this show personification, and this show alliterations. Right? Metaphor is also there, right, and personification is also there in the line, I am the poem of the earth. See this line, I am, third line of the poem, I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. So that's metaphor, right, and personification, because there is an indirect comparison between the rain and the poem. The point of comparison is giving joy and being continuous, so must be its personification. Now metaphor and personification is present, right, as I said you in the third line, I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. Now if you study line below line, right, that means fourth line, eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea. So this is also personification and antithesis, right, present in this line, because the inanimate rain is given the human quality of giving an answer, right? So this is a human quality but represents through natural elements, so it must be, right, personification. Antithesis is there, right, because its opposite words land and sea are used in the sentence for poetic effect. Now see, upward to heaven, right, upward to heaven whence vaguely, vaguely means, right, as I told you, unclear, formed altogether, changed and yet the same, yet the same. So same qualities, personification and antithesis. Then in the next line, I descend to leave the draughts, atomies, dust, layer of the globe. That's also personification, because the inanimate brain is given the human quality of giving an answer. Very simple, as I told you previously. And all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. So personification, right, as I told you. And tautology, the words latent and unborn have the same meaning, so to be dormant, so it must be tautology. Now next line is and forever. See, and forever by day and night I give back life to my own origin. So see, antithesis and internal rhyme is a, because personification you must find because human quality of answer. Antithesis you must know because the opposite word day and night is there. Then internal rhyme, right, because by and my, right, and beautified are rhyming words, so having a sounding effect, rhythmic effect, so it must be internal rhyme, right? So in this line, three figure of speech, personification, antithesis and internal rhyme, are used by the our poet Walt Whitman. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering racked or unracked, duly with love returns. So same figure of speech, antithesis, metaphor and internal rhyme, right, you may find in this poem. So these are the figure of speech, right, in this poem as I discussed the line by line. Now student, I am going to revise today's discussion. In the beginning, right, I explain poem line by line. In the second explanation, I introduce or explain a hard words with their meaning, right, and try to make it easy for you. Now, in the third explanation, I explain figure of speech represents in the poem. Now see, what's your role? Your role or your homework is, right, first to summarize poem and attain, right, the think about it task, right, is given in your textbook that's available on page number 42. Think it out, right, and write it down. Then notice the following sentence patterns, right. Then look for some more poems on the rain and see how this one is different from that. This homework I personally suggest, right, part 3 or task 3, you must do it, right. Find out a poem on the rain from the net, right, there are lots of poem on the rain on the internet available, right, and make a comparison how it's different from it. If you have any question, please ring me, right, I try my best to help you. Thank you very much. Thank you.